Hi, everyone. I'm Michael Bruce, CMO at Agent Moves, and welcome to our Good to Great series. We're all about sharing amazing stories of top agents and how they got there so we can help more realtors become great. So let's jump in today with our guest, Heather Corrigan. I should say Heather the Hurricane.
Yeah, get
We'll
it
talk
right,
about that.
Mikey.
Heather the Hurricane. We got it. Okay. So a couple of fun things. I like to talk about things that are not as much real estate related to introduce our guests and some cool stuff on Heather. So she used to be a stand-up comic, still does some things at some realtor events, and as well as involved in some, TV stuff that she'll tell us about. And I'd love to hear about how the Hurricane name came about and tell us a little bit about yourself, Heather.
The hurricane. Let me tell you, Mike. So it was in the making for many, many years. My whole life, I've been told the hurricane, Heather, the hurricane. There she is. There she is. But really, when I started doing real estate, it really stuck. One of the guys in my office, Mike Listella, I'm going to give him props. I'll let him coin it, trademark it, all that good stuff. There she is, Hurricane Ian, just started hurricaning with these checks. She's in, she's out, just did another deal. And it just really stuck. And now it's me. Like there's no separation. It's really become a part of me.
Oh, that's awesome. It's awesome. And the other thing that just to set this up that is, quite amazing. You've done 80 transactions over to the real estate side yourself, about 18 million. Absolutely fantastic. I
That's
know you have support,
2024,
obviously,
Mike. That's just 2024.
just 2024, just you. I know you have back end support and all that, but 80 units is crazy number.
I mean, over this, so I'm like I said, I just completed year 7. I did over 100 million in sales over those 7 years and helped over 500 families, over 500 units, and that's all within 7 years. Lucky 7, just starting. What do they call it? 8. Lucky 7, aggravating 8. Oh no, 8. Well, it's going to be even better, even better 8.
Excellent, excellent. So tell us a little bit about the journey, right? I know you talked to me a little bit about fashion marketing. Let's
Yes,
start with the journey, right? How you got involved in real estate.
absolutely. So, yeah, my background, and I know we talked to Mark. I originally went to yeshiva till 8th grade, and then, but we moved to Long Island, Hewlett High School. Went right from there. I went to SUNY Coble School for 2 years for business. Then I always had a fashion flair, always. So I went to FIT, buying and merchandising. I knew I was graduating. I saw Century 21 department store. They put on a fashion show. I snuck in the back, gave them my resume. I'm like, I'm graduating. Hire me now. Was hired for their buying program right out of school. That was great. Was in the bag department. My One of my bag vendors, Samsonite, was like, "What are you doing in buying? You should be in sales with your personality, money." Switched over, went to Samsonite, became a publisher of a magazine in the industry with my fashion, with my marketing background. That was great. Then I was out in the city. I was still working for that magazine. And I'm like, I love this, but I want to do that was business to business, consumer. I was at a restaurant, Mesa Grill. I'll never forget, I picked up a card, Go cards, or free postcards in bars, clubs, restaurants. There's actually an ad, advertising, guerrilla marketing. Picked it up, hired me on the spot. I did that for over 20 something years. I was VP of sales, Go Guerrilla Media is how it all started with that postcard, selling big ad agent, big guerrilla marketing programs all over the country for over 20 something years, worked with the biggest ad agencies around the country. While doing that, like you said before, still the acting and modeling stuff, the comedian. I was a Girl Scout leader, got married, had the kids, ran PTA, ran it all. Everyone knows me, major networker, 20 something years selling the advertising, great street team programs, projections, the biggest brand you can imagine, the Hurricane was handling. But I also had a side party planning business. I started Heather's Heydays because I'm very creative. Then I was like, wait, I'm doing all this. How do I not have my real estate license? How do I not have that? I got that 7 years ago. I was doing the guerrilla marketing and the real estate at the same time. COVID, it was great hit. And both were great. COVID hit. My marketing business was not so great. My real estate was starting to go through the roof. Then what happened? Became full on, transitioned after 20 something years right into real estate full time, which is what I believe it should be anyway. And we could talk about that. You want someone that does this full time, not your Aunt Sally that got it it's not a pastime. This is the most biggest purchase of someone's life, and it's life changing. And you want someone that does this every day, because I'm learning every single day. And this is all I do. I eat, breathe, and sleep it. Anyway, the hurricane was born, and here we are. And it was just a wonderful journey. And I know that all my marketing and background skills and the fact brought me to help become the hurricane has really become very well known. My goal for 2025 is for it to be a household name.
Love it. Love it. Love it. What a story. So tell me about the first year full time in real estate 7 years ago, how it got started that you were able to go in full time, get, coming off there. I know guerrilla marketing. I can imagine after 20 years, you're probably making good money, nothing like real estate, but now you get involved, you're all in. How's that first year go?
So when I first started, being in sales, so I was an independent contractor at Go Gorilla too. So I always thank God I
Mhm.
had that flexibility of like kind of balancing both. Everyone, my Remax people, think I love them all, wonderful, won many awards. When I first started, they're like, no way, can you do both and be successful? Guess what? They go, you proved us wrong. I did both and was very successful, but I'm not normal. I said, I just gave you a whole speech how no one should do that. I did it. But of course, my business has blossomed much more since then, and I would never go backwards. And so I just jumped right in there. Really, I am a salesperson my whole life, and I'm very good at these type of things. So I've been doing it my entire life, and I just took what I learned. I really just jumped right in. Remax also had an amazing program called Conversion, which helped us like get right on the phone. Like I would just get right in there with leads that maybe other people wouldn't have taken seriously. I'll never forget this one lead I had. The kid sounded like he was 10 years old. He said, my dad wants to buy a house. Muhammad, I got on the phone with him. I got his dad pre-approved for multifamily. I must have done over 80 transactions from that one phone call 7 years later. You never
Wow.
know. And
Well,
I literally jumped right in and did both until it turned to the point where it's like, okay, this is going to be I'm all in. And I
so
was
tell
making,
us
and I'll
about
tell
the,
you, Michael, we were talking about, I did bronze my first year, which is about 3 million. And I did like 40 units. Second year, silver, 7 million and like 40 units. Then I've been doing gold consistently since year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, year 7. Always doing from now it was 80 units, always been doing 60, 80 units, and now it's 18 million. But in between that, it was like 12, 13 million. This year, my goal 20 million, 100 units. Sure, why not?
Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. So tell me about the marketing, your marketing background. Obviously, big personality. What were you doing to, make connections, build your sphere,
Yep.
and get this going?
I have always been a major networker, major. I think I mentioned to you in our pre video, I ran things at the PTA. I'm still a Girl Scout leader. I won awards at my temple at the time. Everyone in town has come to me for anything. Heather's got a guy, the Hurricane's got a gal, whatever it's always been that way. When they needed those glasses with the eclipse, I ran to the city and anything that you need, I've always been that person. So another thing, so that's how it started. I just got right in there using everything I know about networking. And now I actually own a networking group, the Hurricane Hub. You didn't even know that. I saved that as a trick. When I was first doing this, I started with, I was a president of a LaTip. I knew once I was doing just Go Gorilla, I wanted to do the whole networking thing. That was great. We chartered, but then I felt I wanted something a little bit different from my style. No hard feelings. I was in this other group, UTA. I bought a few franchises, but now I have just my group. It's called the Hurricane Hub, and it's a wonderful networking. I'm the realtor. I have a mortgage person, an estate person. You know how it's one person per category. So I just had a great holiday party, and that's something that I worked very hard to build. I always knew I wanted my very own Hurricane Hub because it's really something that I've always been very good at and helped bring me where I am. Social media. If you look, Mark, I am on Mikey. I am on every social media platform. If you go to my website, it's all updated. I've been in tons of magazines. Like I said, I filmed for House Hunters, been on many podcasts, award winning, all that. It's all on my website. We try to keep it, Pam, like very current. But I'm a liver, chop liver, what the heck they call it, where people tune in to hear what I have to say. I've been doing that on TikTok. And now that they say TikTok's going away, I've been living on Insta every night with a different topic. Last night I did estate sales. The night before I did multifamilies. I am on LinkedIn. Every post I do, not only is Facebook, Insta, TikTok, Snap, but I'm on this Snapchat now. You're hitting different everyone, the kids in the high school scream the hurricane, the silver sneaker people scream the hurricane, and the parents my age scream the hurricane. So you need to be generation to build a brand to become what I'm looking to do.
Right. Right. Fabulous. Fabulous. So it's basically been social. How do you work your sphere? So it's just organic social. You're posting. Are you targeting your sphere, or it's just kind of building through social?
So I don't just do like I literally work 24/7. Like I'm still there. Thank God for my family. Like I'm still a Girl Scout leader, like I said. But like I mean, when I was in Florida, I was on a kayak with my daughter, and I just went live on a building. My phone was going crazy. She's hitting me with the oars. Stop! You know, you got to stop at some point. But how do you stop? Right? How do you shut the brakes? Maybe that's something I should learn to do in 2025. But it's not just. It's consistency. It's not just the social media aspect. It's I knock on doors. I see a dumpster in front of a house. My car, I literally pull over all day. It takes me forever to get anywhere because I'm always pulling over thinking, oh my God, maybe they're looking to sell. I see someone walking the dog. It's the hurricane. Are you a homeowner? Rentals, of course. I do everything. I have a commercial property. It's to me, I hate when people say, are you a listing agent? Are you a buying agent? Are you a rental agent? To me, a well-rounded agent does everything and does everything well. And you can. That's how you have a well-rounded realtor. You could advise your clients on all aspects and different types of transactions.
Yeah, excellent. No, no, I like that. I like that. So, okay, 2025, maybe go from 80 to 100, like you said, or maybe be able to say no, at certain times, right? So you can back away a little bit. But what are the plans to get there, right? To, even go further in 2025? What are you going to do?
I'm going to try different things, even hopping on the phones with the Vulcan. There's different programs you could use to call. There are so many things you could do to build your business that just when you think you've done everything, there's always something right behind it you could possibly do.
Yep, that's true.
So even just as simple as calling your sphere, I mean, it's not that easy to keep up on every single thing you could possibly do. There are enough hours in a day.
Yep, yep, absolutely, absolutely. So give us some tips, okay? Like this show is about sharing, wisdom. You've had a lot here you've thrown at us with a hurricane speed. All right. So this is for really, we're looking at, good agents to become great agents,
Yes.
right? People are going to hear this and say, how the hell did she get to 80 units? That is a crazy number. Like I told you before, as we talked, I've been interviewing a lot of agents. I have one that's hit like 85 herself, but the numbers seem to be way more in the 30, 40
Yes.
number. Knowing where you are, your average price point is pretty decent too. This is not 80 units at
It's
200,
right.
250,000.
I have a mix. I have rentals that are included in that units. I have houses at 800,000, houses at 600. Believe it or not, some in the fours. This building that I have for sale right now is 1.6 million, so that's really nice. If I could get a few more high price points, I'll be at 30 million easy, because I do so much volume. But
Right. So some
really,
tips again, tips for other agents that you can, they're not going to be the hurricane, but what kind of tips can you give that anyone can, kind of take from this? I always say, like, if you can take one thing away from these interviews, it's a home run for someone.
yep. I really believe that consistency is key. Like you have to you're not going to make one phone call and that's it. You're not going to knock on one door. You need to be consistent every day. And like I said, even with the posting, sometimes I'm just like, I don't even feel like putting this up. I won't leave until like today when I'm done with you. I had an offer accepted in Lodi. I'm going to post that. I want people to know that that just happened. You never know who you're going to hit. I just posted about something that I hit in New Milford. And so now they called me that they have a house to sell there because they saw that. You need to be consistent because you never know. And I try to be consistent with everything I do, everywhere I go, to speak to people, to let people know that I can help them in any way. Consistency is very, very key. And, that's very important, I think. You can't just let something like this, it has to be something that your mindset is consistent with. It can't just be like, sometimes I'll do it, sometimes I won't, because it's too much to handle the transaction from one from when we, meet someone to get their offer accepted, inspections, appraisals. There's so much to learn and so much to know. You really need to go through the entire process and think of ways to get to that closing table. We want everyone to be happy. Sometimes not every
Yeah.
fit is going to fit. So
Yeah.
it's really so many different skill sets that you need to be an agent. It's very important for people to realize that they really need, like, we've been through lawsuits and now the buyer's agreements, and now we have a new MLS. What a pain in the butt. But that's why being consistent and keeping up with everything that we need to know, and not just one day be like, oh, one day I'm going to look up a house, and then 3 weeks later, put your computer down and then look. It's not going to work. This industry is changing and growing consistently. I learn something every second of the day, and I do this all the time. So imagine someone that thinks I could just do it part time on the side. No, would you want someone doing the most, that purchase? So really put your mind in it, right? This can be amazing, lucrative, awesome, but you've got to be in the right mindset. Really, it's so important.
Yeah, yeah. I think consistency is a great message. And what I've heard even from the most successful agents, right? They get into maybe the beginning of the year, I'm going to do this to change. I'm going to do more of this, more of that. And then something happens. They get busy, 2 listings, something happens with the kids that, life is life. And that inconsistency, now they drop it for 2 months. Then they want to know, why did
Right.
those couple of sales happen? They were in my sphere and I didn't get those because they were not consistently messaging,
And
consistently.
unfortunately, even when you are there, sometimes you don't get it. It happens all the time. Rejection is part of the business. Believe me, I don't love it. I hate no. The hurricane only wants to hear yes, but I got to, for 2 seconds be like, oh, crap, and then move on, and then make me even stronger for the next one. That's the only way. And believe me, it feels so good when you get to that closing table, when you've sold someone, they can start their new chapter, when you marry a landlord and a renter, when you help someone open their new business. The gratification is wonderful. Money ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? And it's just wonderful. For me, I believe this is what I was meant to be doing with my
Beautiful.
marketing, with my fashion, with
Yeah.
my acting. The hurricane was meant to be. I believe that 1000%.
Yeah, no, great branding. Look, I've been doing this a lot. I've been speaking to a lot of people. It's a great brand, right? It certainly is your personality, right? So it's perfect. But people are sometimes afraid of even promoting their brand. It's not just about your face
That's
and
right.
the colors of your marketing, but to be able to link to the hurricane and have that personality, boy, you got some magic going. There's no question about it,
Thanks,
right?
Mikey. You made
Thank you
my
so
day.
much. Yeah, you definitely have it. I know how busy you are. Thank you for taking the time. Please follow Heather on social. Some great, great stuff there.
Heather the
I'm going to
Hurricane,
follow her. Heather the Hurricane.
917-440-3767. Also, I filmed for House Hunters, so that will be airing in the spring. Look out for that. But you can follow me on everything, TikTok, all of it, and you'll know what's happening with me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Heather. Until next time, follow us as well on a YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Until the next time, I thank you for your time, Heather.